almost done with this one. One more here. And we'll move on to the next step. What we're looking for when you go from this file to this file, and we know we have the depth that we want. When you're filing down with this wider file, what you're doing is taking material away from the side, not the center. So when you start down, you'll be able to see a defined line in the middle. You want to go down with this wider file till that line is almost disappeared, and then you want to stop, because you've reached the depth that you want to go and the width of the proper width that you want with this file. Me, I like to stop just shy, okay? That ensures that I don't go too far, and when I hit it with the next file, that line's going to go completely away anyway. So that's what we do here. And then I go through and check them, make sure they don't have any issues, and they're ready to go on down to the next one. Okay, check them all. Make sure I'm down where I want to be. Okay. 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 And there's that one. So they're really widening up. And you know, it's really starting to take shape as far as the vine. But I believe, as thick as this knife is, I'm gonna go a little bit wider. So I'm gonna choose my next file carefully and see what happens from there. I believe I've got one that I want to go to. It's the right width for what I want. It's a 1/2 inch, half round. And it's a big step up. Well, I'll just show you. Here's what we just got through using, okay? That's what we're gonna go to. All right, now don't freak out and say, well, you're taking way too much material. No, I'm not, because all I'm using is just part of this, okay? Because I'm only gonna go 1/4 inch deep. So I'm only gonna go that deep right there. Now, if you draw a line across that, you're only using half of this file, but it's the radius that I'm after. I want that longer sweeping radius. That's why I'm going to that size file. So I'll do one, and y'all can watch it come about, appear, whatever you want to call it. So I'll just pick one at random. Just pick one right in the middle facing me, and we'll do it, and we'll see what it looks like. This is why when you get into a bigger file, it really wants to move with you side to side. So it's imperative that you have a great track for this file to set in. That's why I go up in increments. If I had a line here and just started with this file, I might end up 1/4 inch off one way or the other. And to keep it uniform and aesthetically pleasing and even, I like to do what I do, and that's step up through the files. So what I'll do is I'll drag it backwards, okay? It knocks off that sharp edge, gets this file started, okay? Then I'll take 2 hands and I'll just start. Look how much wider that's going to get. Okay? It really widens it out. The further in I go, the wider it gets. And I'll go in until that center line is gone, or that area that hasn't been taken away. Once that area is gone, I stop. Files get really grabby at this point too, so you got to be careful. You don't want to make any misfiles now. So that's a lot of work. I'm going to use a Dremel tool. You can use a Dremel tool, but I can't control a Dremel tool as good as I can this. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, only when I'm doing something really intricate, and there's just no possible way to use a file, then I won't. Now let me show you what I like to call done. I'm going to, look how much wider that groove is. I'm going to maneuver you as best as I can to show you this, okay? Okay, all right, let's see what we can do here. Oh yeah, now I believe I can focus that point right there, drop you down a little bit, move you up. Right there. Now look how much wider this is compared to this, and this, and this. So when I start rounding this over right here, I don't want a big gap between this turn and this turn, vice versa. When I round this over, see, actually this edge will creep over about right in the middle there, or close to it, right there. That only means I have to round over that much behind this one. So that's really gonna help out on the finished look. So with that said, I'll finish all the rest of them and I'll bring you back. Awesome. Now that we've done what we need to do with the 1/2" file, you can see it's really opened up these to where you have a nice slim vine pattern coming down through here. Now, while we have these flats here and so on and so forth on either side, what we want to do now is we want to establish our vine thistles or thorns. Which direction do we want them to go in? You know, do we want them to be cut in where the thorn points back this way? Or do we want the thorns to be pointing back that way? So if we want them that way, we cut into them here like this. So that thorn will roll off like that instead of like this. So we need to determine which direction we want to go. So let's pick us a file, and one that we're going to use to actually cut the vine in with. Some people use a single-sided or a triangle file, which I use because I've got 3 sides I can alternate and keep cleaned out. Some people use a single-sided file, a tapered file, just something that comes to a nice crisp point. Because what that's going to allow us to do is hang on to that edge to get that thorn started. So let me demonstrate what I do to put a thorn in one of these, and you'll kind of get the gist of what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to do is take a triangle file, probably, well, I could go, I've got 3 here. What I've got.
Do you have one of the King Knight Amy has?
Just 1 second, young fella. I apologize for the interruption, but I have grandchildren and they don't get to see Papa much, so they're down here playing, and that's okay with me. You know, kids are kids and we just have to deal with them. So what I'm going to do is try to determine a man's going to hold this knife like this, okay? When he looks down at the knife, he's probably going to want the thorns facing backwards. I would, okay? So that's what we're going to do. So what I'm going to do, beside each one of these half rounds that I made, I'm going to come off about half the thickness of this file. So from the point over, that's half the file, correct? So that's about 1/8 of an inch. What I want to do is I want to come off the edge of that half round about 1/8 of an inch, okay? And I'm going to start like I'm going to make a mark, okay? Just like that. It's going to create a burr. And with that burr, I can start it. And you go upstairs then, buddy. Go on.
Make so Amy don't make it.
I won't. Go ahead. What can I help you with?
Did you pause it?
Not yet. It's still running. You want me to pause it? All right, let's pause it for a second. Okay, here we go. Everybody should be, yep, we are. All right. I've established a burr and a little bitty groove, okay, that will help me keep my file from skating off the side of the steel. So now that I got it started, I'm just going to turn it, file and turn, okay? And I want to stay at about a 45-degree angle to start. Once I establish it, I'll stop and look, okay? And I see I'm starting to get a little point. I want to run right up the center of that vine right there. Once we start filing, we turn ever so slightly onto another 45-degree angle. Okay, 45, 45. Then once I get straight with that vine, I'm going to stop turning, and then I'm going to start laying that file over. What that's going to do is that's going to give me distance of the thorn. Okay? Just like so. And when I feel that I've established a good thorn, I'll stop. Just like so. Now, I know it don't look like much right now, but when I get them all done, both sides, I'll come back and I'll round this over, just like this, so it matches the underside of the vine. Okay. So let me get these thorns in here, and then I'll get back with you. All right. Now that we've got our thorns cut, you can see them cut in here, okay? Let me raise you up there and you get right down on top of it. You can see them cut in there, okay? What we're gonna do now is we're gonna round everything over nice and smooth. I'll start in the middle so that you can actually see what I'm rounding over and what I'm not. This is what's really gonna make the whole thing pop. Give that vine its sweeping look. Okay. Really gonna help it. Give it some symmetry. Soften it up. Make it look elegant, you know. Some people don't like to do it. Some people do. Me, I prefer to do it. I think it's more aesthetically pleasing. Lock this down. I feel like I'm filing a chainsaw here, laying over the top case. Okay. That's pretty much it. I mean, just making sure there's no sharp edges or goofy turns, or it's looking pretty good so far. It really makes the vines pop too. I mean, they really stand out once you get everything rounded over pretty good. Come back here on the start, kind of round it a little, just like so. We'll come up here and we'll do the same thing here. I want everything to sweep and have a natural flow. Are they all exact, these vines? No. Nature sometimes can be exact. The Lord does things perfect. So he has them exactly how he wants them, not how we want them. And there's things in nature that are just spot on exact. So if you'll look down this right-hand side, you'll see a nice, gentle sweep on this vine pattern. And I always go back and clean it up and make sure it's exactly what I want. So I'll do the other side and I'll bring you back. All right, welcome back. I've got the vines and everything smoothed off. Now what I do to check everything, to where I can really go over and make sure that there's the detail I want in this, I'll blacken this out. And then I'll take a sanding block and I'll go over that file pattern. And what that's going to do is that's going to darken all the low spots. And then when I sand it, it'll brighten all the high spots. And then it will really pop. So just give me just 1 minute and I'll get it blacked. And all I do is just take a black magic marker, because this is all going to get sanded off. And I'll come in here and I'll black everything off. Okay. Okay, just like so. Make everything black. What this is going to do, this is going to allow this thing to jump out at me. And I'll be able to see every little last detail in this whole thing. Okay? It's going to allow me to see all the curves, the lines, everything. And I'll just black it all out, all the way up. Make sure I get it all. I'll come down both sides and get it all. Now it's hard to get down in them vine patterns, but if you force that marker in there, you can get in there. Okay? And it's essential that you do that, because you want to be able to see everything. And I want to be able to see it all. And we'll get it all in there. All right. Now, that's pretty blacked out. I mean, we'll be able to see every little detail in that vine. Now watch this vine pattern really come to life. And when I mean come to life, it's going to really come to life. And I'll just show you exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, you could still see some of the shininess of the vine pattern through the phone. So let me come in here and see if I can't darken all that up. Okay. And it has to do with the lighting too. You know what I could do? I could rotate this and take that glare off of it and move y'all over here nice and easy to where you can see it again, maybe in a different light. Okay, and I'll zoom out just a little bit like so. Now while I'm standing here, I'll just reach over here like this and I'll sand what we're looking for is we're looking for that vine pattern to come to life. Okay, look at her. We want to sand it, and all we're doing is hitting the high spots. Now, let me take the knife out of the vise where I can hold it and manipulate it into the camera. Now I want you to look yonder. Is that not gorgeous? That absolutely turned out beautiful. Huh? So there it is. One custom vine pattern on the top. Turned out awesome. And one custom radical pattern on the bottom for grip. Kind of quirky, yeah. I like it. Really, really, really pops. All right, till next time. Everyone have a great weekend or whatever you're in. God bless you, and watch your top knot.